I would love to be able to do my work back here, but the way it's set up right now is just not functional for that. I literally only have a wall and a half to work with, but I want to make this my at-home office setup. Thank you, Wayfair, for sponsoring this video. Is this gonna be too hot? Yeah, it is. Hey guys, today I'm working from home, and you know, half the time I'm usually working in the office. The other half of the time I'm here, working from my house. And I'm also sorry that's why you're getting this sweatpanted version of me today. I also don't know why I felt the need to apologize for wearing sweatpants in my own house. Anyway, all that being said, I don't really have an office work from home setup that is really functioning well. I kind of just do all my work from our dining room table, not even our dining room table, the kind of only surface we have to eat at. And it's not really ideal. So let me show you what that looks like right now. This is kind of the current setup. Not great. Not bad, not great. Remember that guy? I mean, this works and it's fine, but it would be nice to be in a space where I can kind of limit my distractions, as well as like leave this stuff behind at the end of the day. What I do have is a vanity corner in our second bedroom where my boyfriend also has his work from home setup. My plan for the design of this space is to replace the vanity with an actual desk, as well as go in with some peel and stick wallpaper on the back wall behind it, swap in a new chair as well as new curtains, and bring in some minimal decor to finish it off. I think it's safe to assume that a lot of you guys are in a similar situation to me, where you live in a smaller home and you need some of your spaces to be able to double as other spaces. Obviously, you can see here, like I have all my hair tools and my vanity stuff, and unfortunately, I just don't have storage for this kind of stuff in my bathroom. So I still need this room to function as a vanity area, but I want to be able to keep my office and that sort of thing separate. I have a plan for this. I'm gonna show you, it's over here. So my plan is to put this thing on wheels and actually turn this drawer desk unit into a DIY vanity cart. I think this is a great amount of space for all of my sort of hair and makeup items, and everything that's office related will go into my new desk. We'll get to this in a little bit. Right now, I just want to clear out the whole room and start with a blank slate. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I want to do a peel and stick wallpaper on this back wall here. I found online this really gorgeous linen sort of grass cloth textured wallpaper, and I just think it has a really subtle print on it that could be just like, I don't know, really relaxing for this back wall. Let me show you close up. See the nice texture? I don't know. Let's just get it up on the wall. Rochelle has come to help me put the wallpaper on the wall. You want to come say hi?
Oh, hey.
Hopefully this goes well.
We got this.
We got this. To install peel and stick wallpaper, peel about a foot of the backing away from the paper at a time. Apply the paper to the top of the wall, allowing a bit of excess to overlap on the ceiling. This is in case your ceiling isn't straight. It also helps align your pattern. And working from top to bottom, pull the backing away as you evenly press the paper to the wall. Don't force it. Be careful not to stretch or pull your material or the pattern won't align. This is absolutely something you can do on your own. Definitely just let gravity assist you, but it's always nice to have a friend to help you align the seams of each roll. Thanks, Rochelle. Now, using a straight edge, here I have a scraper with some paper towel over it so it doesn't nick my roll. Working your way down the strip in a back and forth motion, smooth the material to the wall and push out any air bubbles. Finally, you can trim excess material with a sharp razor blade. Okay, this wall is looking so nice. I love the texture. I love the color of the paper. I do have one bone to pick though, and it's probably just due to the quality of the paper. Like, it's really hard to tell, but you can kind of see how these panels are kind of like a gradient. Explain yourself. And the craziest part is, this panel and this panel came from the same roll. So it kind of felt like it was unavoidable. It doesn't really bother me that much. I think I can live with it, especially once the decor comes in. Hopefully it'll take away from the miscolored panels. But next, I want to bring in my new desk. Well, new to me at least. I found this desk on Facebook Marketplace yesterday. I can't remember if I told you my plan for the desk or not, but I'm gonna say it again just in case. I want to take the same wallpaper that we used on the wall and cover the desk in it and kind of go for this mono textured moment. And then we'll break it up with all the decor. What else I love about this desk is that it actually comes with a glass piece that goes on top, so it's gonna protect the wallpaper from like any sort of damage. Okay guys, we are done wallpapering the desk and I actually think it looks amazing. It's even better than I expected and I love it when that happens. But this kind of faux linen grass cloth textured wallpaper took this kind of basic desk and really elevated it to look a lot more expensive than it is. And I am just very happy with the results so far. So far this makeover is going pretty well, but I think I'm done for today. Tomorrow I'm gonna start working on the DIY vanity cart and yeah, I'll see you then. Good morning guys. Before I do anything today, I actually want to head to the thrift store because I want to find a book. I have this idea to kind of hack a book into a DIY cable management system, I guess hidden cable management system. I'll show you that when we get back. I also want to see if they have any curtains. Now that the wallpaper's up on the wall, I think I have a better idea of what I'm looking for, but yeah. Let's go to the thrift store, my favorite place. Okay, I am back from the thrift store. Unfortunately, I didn't find any curtains, but I did find this Oxford Dictionary of quotations. My plan for this book is to actually remove the pages from its cover. It will still be readable and then do a little sneaky hiding place for one of these. This is a retractable extension cord that's gonna be hidden in the book. This way, because I'm usually on the go with my laptop and my phone cable and stuff, all I have to do is actually just open up the top of this book, plug in anything I need, and then I don't have to like crawl under the table and fight with cables. And I just thought it was a cute little sneaky hack. Once the pages are removed, I'm going to actually rebuild the sides using some MDF board. And MDF is just a particle board made from wood. It's usually lightweight and pretty inexpensive, so it's great for custom DIY projects like this. What I want to teach you guys today though is actually how to cut thicker pieces of MDF board without any power tools, just so this is more accessible to you guys at home. Before we get into any cutting though, let's remove the pages from the book. I'm just going in with a utility knife. So, I'm not always the most careful DIYer and I accidentally just cut into the side of the book spine and I'm really mad about it, but I taped it back together. This was so freaking avoidable. Just be more careful. I could have been a lot more careful. I'm so mad because this was so avoidable, but I'm determined to make this book work. I'll just fill in that little gap with some Sharpie or something. Let's get to cutting some MDF. So the MDF piece I'm using is 1/2 inch thick. To cut this, I'm going to take a straight edge ruler and place it firmly on the board. Next, I'm going to take my utility knife and firmly make a score line along the line we just made. And you want to do a couple passes until you're about maybe even 1/4 through the board. Now you can cut all the way through the MDF with this score and cut method where you just continuously make shallow cuts until you're all the way through the board. But with a piece that's this thick, that's going to take you a really long time. So now that we have our score line made, it's time to bring in a hand saw. Now I have our straight edge ruler clamped to the score line that we just made. And I also went ahead and clamped our piece of MDF to this little makeshift work table that I've created here. Sometimes when you're cutting with a handsaw, it's really easy to lose track of your line and kind of get a jagged result. So that's where this score line and the straight edge ruler really comes in handy to help guide our saw blade and make a really even, straight cut. MDF is a really soft wood material, so it's actually pretty easy to get through. Gorgeous. Okay, look how straight this cut was. Now I can just take a little bit of sandpaper, this is dirty, but it doesn't matter, and just run it over this edge and make sure it's clean. But it's pretty good. Look at that. And you just kind of repeat this method for all your cuts. Now that I have all my pieces cut out to my desired size, basically I just made a rectangle so I can rebuild out where we are lacking in pages in the book. Something like these. So technically I should glue my rectangle to this side and then this flap would open up. But because of the little oopsie that I made, I'm going to have the book sit upside down so that this is the flap. I don't want to put any stress on the accident. So it's technically going to be an upside down book cable management hack, but you know, it's going to be an if you know, you know thing. And I'm just going in with some wood glue to glue all my pieces together, as well as go in with some clamps to hold it while it dries. A simple way to deal with any excess glue is just wiping it with a damp towel. Yeah, okay, feels good. Now it's going to line it up. Now I'm just gonna go in with a little hot glue so I can glue this edge up to here. Nice. Oh my god, that's so good. And now we got our book back, except it's secret compartment style. Let's see if our extension cable fits in here properly. And it does. And then we just do a little, oh, when you're ready to use it. Ow. Bada bing, bada boom. Plug it in. All done. Reel it back up. I gotta be honest, I thought this was like one of those where you like pull it and it retracts, but it's manual. I'm okay with it. Still very nice and clean. I have some faux black suede that I think I just want to clean up this edge with, as well as put a little cushion at the bottom here and something on top of this edge, just to make it a little bit nicer and cleaner. Yes. Oh my god, because I put it on the wrong side, I have to do a Kendall Jenner cutting cucumber moment. Oh no. Very nice. And then just gonna eyeball a little 45-degree angle so that all these corners meet really nicely. And then now, they should be pretty even. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, this thing actually looks amazing. I actually went ahead and added a little notch to the back here. I first drilled a hole to be the same width as the cord, or a little bit bigger, and then went in with the same score and cut method from before, just to create this little channel for the cables to sit out if I ever wanted to leave the book closed. I also went ahead and used some blank sketchbook paper to cover the sides so that it seemed a little bit more like a book than the MDF did. And it looks like this. I actually kind of want to test this out. Should I go get my backpack? Like this. Get you in here. You know, sitting down, coming to do some work. Got my cables. Oh, I need to charge my iPhone. Oh, I need to charge my computer. I don't have to crawl under the desk. Only to plug it in. I can even keep all my cords in this box. And sometimes, since I'm on the go, I could take this whole little thing with me. Put this in my backpack. It's a little cord station now. Sweet. Overall, I think this little DIY hack looks great. If you guys have been enjoying my very specific little DIY hack here, another show on YouTube you might enjoy is called Interior Motives. You guys are probably familiar with Wayfair for their site where you can find home products that are perfect for you, but what you might not know is that they actually have a YouTube channel. This series I think you will enjoy, called Interior Motives, is a show where they take wildly specific interior design troubles, and by exploring Wayfair's vast selection, they craft a space that perfectly fits these very specific design needs. I think one of my favorite parts about the show is how the host, Kiva Brent, was actually a scientist turned interior stylist. And it's just really cool how her approach to design combines both creative and critical thinking to promote problem solving in interior design. Oh, I really appreciate things like that, you know? They even brought in a baking expert to help provide further insights on these kitchen solutions. For example, the episode that I recently watched highlights design tips for at-home bakers and outlines basic necessities for your kitchen setups, as well as space-saving solutions for those kitchen setups that are not an absolute eyesore to look at. If you're like me and love satisfying as well as functional design tips from very knowledgeable and experienced experts, then I really do think you're gonna find this show interesting. Go check out the full episode of Interior Motives over on the Wayfair channel. I provided a link in the description below, and while you're there, consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date on all of Wayfair's amazing content. I promise you won't regret it. For now, let's get back to the DIYs. Okay, so I'm ready to start working on the DIY vanity cart, and my plan is to actually convert this bottom drawer here into a kind of custom hair tool holder. I'm going to be measuring all my cuts on this scrap piece of 1/2 inch MDF that I used earlier. This piece is from Home Depot. I believe it's about 2 feet by 4 feet when it started, and it's only about 20 Canadian dollars. So pretty inexpensive, and I'm gonna get all my cuts out of this piece for sure. If you're actually interested in making this DIY, all of the dimensions will be posted up on our blog, so check it out at TheSorryGirls.com. I am going to cut this piece down the same way we did earlier, creating a score line and then using my straight edge ruler to help guide the blade and ensure that we get a straight cut. Okay, I have all my pieces cut out. Let me grab those and show you so you can kind of get a better idea of what I'm doing. Also, hot tip, if you want to clamp alike pieces together for sanding, then you can really ensure that they're all even. It's very nice. So let's give this a little test before we glue it all together. Side piece, the front piece. Oh, wow, really is a perfect squeeze. And then this is where the hairbrushes / aerosols. Okay, I'll get that like evenly spaced out. Nice. So it's gonna look something like this. I'm gonna create a top piece for this in a sec, but before I do that, I'm gonna get this all glued up. Because my measurements are so tight, I actually wanna glue it while it's in the drawer. This drawer is looking great. Now you could either leave it like this, you could adjust it to your needs, or add compartments, take away compartments. It's custom, it's DIY. But I actually want to take this up a notch. I have made a top piece for the back compartment to go over, but I actually want my hair tools to be able to sit in here. This is a boat cup holder replacement, and my plan is to cut off the bottom and then cut a circle into here so that this can sit inside and hold my hair tools really nicely. Now, you could make your way all the way through this MDF with an X-Acto knife, but personally, to save time, I'm gonna do this with a jigsaw. First, I am tracing out my circular shape. Then before going in with the jigsaw, I'm just making a pilot hole with the drill here so my blade has somewhere to begin. I'm also gonna make sure my blade is on the inside of this line just because my tape roll is a little bit bigger than the circumference I'm using. If you are using an X-Acto blade, just take your time with it and be really careful. Eventually you will make it all the way through the MDF. Nice. Okay, piece is all cut out. Look at this. Not the cleanest, but doesn't matter. Because look at this. Oh. Is this necessary? That is debatable, but I think by now you guys know I'm into really peculiar, minute details like this. That is just so satisfying. This is optional as well, but last step, I'm going to cut off the bottom of these cup holders really carefully with my X-Acto blade and glue this to our back compartment. See, the bottom's cut out. Goes right. Oh! Oh my goodness, this is just so satisfying. Hi! I really am happy with how this DIY drawer insert turned out. Optional to paint it if you wanted to. I'm actually really into the kind of raw brown wood look. If you are gonna go forward and try out this DIY, definitely make sure to let your hair tools fully cool down before putting it into the plastic cups, but would have had to fully let them cool before putting them away anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Last thing I want to do to this piece is put the whole thing on wheels and then start putting stuff inside. Let's see this thing in action. Oh God. Okay, I just spent some time organizing my new little DIY vanity cart. I'm so happy with how it looks. Tomorrow I'll show you how it looks with things actually in the drawer. I'll show you with the wheels on and stuff. I think I'm done for today. We are so close to finishing this makeover, and I am so excited to have a really aesthetically pleasing and functional office space to work in. See you tomorrow. Earlier this morning, I went to pick up the last remaining items that I need for this makeover, these curtains being one of them. I think these are nice to have like a monotone on this wall, a monotone on this wall, but still bring in the linen-y texture. I think it's just a nice juxtaposition. I'm almost ready to put the final touches on everything, but before I do that, I want to show you this little vanity cart. Huh? Look at her! And the drawer. Very nice. Got my brushes, sprays, aerosols. But yeah, I love the way that this drawer functions now. All the cords get to stay back here. It's great. I'm just super excited to like actually use this thing every day, you know, wheel it over to my chair. Speaking of, I actually picked that up this morning. Let me show you. I literally found this chair on Marketplace for $20, and while it probably could use a little bit of staining for that price, I thought it just had really great structure, really great bones. I also just really liked how the color complemented the floor as well as the wall. It might be a little bit too short for the desk, but I don't actually like working at low desks. I prefer when it's almost eye level. Also, it's kind of perfect how the arm just misses the drawer. I am really loving how the desk is looking, but I think it could use some knobs. I have this little bin of knobs here that I've been collecting, I guess, over the course of my life. And while I do have some that are matching, like these, for example, these are really beautiful, but I just don't think they're the look I'm going for. So I'm like, is it crazy if I do a mix match knob moment? I think it could be nice. These are really beautiful. That could be fun. Or these ones. These are so pretty. I like these ones. While I am trying to keep the decor really minimal, I do want to break up this wall a little bit. So I also picked up this frame from Ikea this morning. It's the Wallpaper. You might recognize these from my hallway makeover. I have about 5 of those in the hallway. If you've seen me make over any of the other spaces in my home, you'll know how I feel about poster art. I just think it's an affordable and interchangeable way to, you know, take up a lot of space on your walls. You also might recognize this print from my bedroom makeover, which has since been replaced by an acrylic shelf that I made recently. I just love this print. I think it has really lovely colors and imagery, and it actually complements the knobs really nicely. So I'm going to get this in this frame, and I think we're ready to take a closer look. Okay guys, by the time I'm recording this voiceover, I've lost my voice a little bit, but I am really loving how this space transformed. I find the tones and the textures extremely relaxing, and I actually think my favorite part is the way the wallpaper continues onto the desk. It's just stunning. I'm really excited to get in here and start utilizing this area better. You know, living in a smaller apartment, I'm glad I was able to make it feel and function as 2 separate spaces, even though it's one pretty small room. It's chic, it's functional, just a win-win all around. If you enjoyed this makeover and some of my little tips, I definitely would recommend you check out my hallway makeover video where I transformed and customized other tight spaces in my home. See you next time. Becky's here!
Hi!
Hi! You are smart and you are capable, and no one can take that away from you. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise.